I been missing out the walk with the men. I been building up the blocks like a man. Elliot got water dripping out the city. Oh my God, boy he got a Glock. Oh my God, boy that boy on top. Sipping walk, make my heart stop. All these hoes, yeah my love my thigh. Yo, I let her go, put her on roll, put that on payroll, put that on go. Yeah she like to go, yeah she love to blow. Get that dick so, like a snow cone. Yo, get that bag, show 'em how to ball. I'm in the mall, yeah I'm saying. Give me a minute, yeah, I need a minute, I'm in a minute, I'm in a minute, I'm gonna tell you, hey, Cardi B and Pippin, Cardi B and kick the shit, yeah, give me a minute, yeah.
Hey, what's good, y'all? It's DGE, Dolphin Gang Entertainment. It's your boy DG. Appreciate y'all, love y'all. Y'all help me get to that 10K. Y'all know it's on its way. Shout out to my boy Cat. Appreciate you for pulling up on me. Kodak, yes, sir. One of my favorites. One of my favorite artists, man. You already know, man. Today we're gonna be covering Mike McDaniel and what he had to say at his presser about the Dolphins. We haven't really been hearing anything from all the other players except for the new ones. So Mike McDaniel, he's gonna have more insight in regards to if we keep in Calais Campbell, Teron Armstead, what his status is. We still gotta know about that. There's still a lot of unknowns about the Dolphins that we don't know the answer to. So we can't really judge the team based off of our shape right now with the players that we got. But let's hear what Mike McDaniel got to say about this, and hopefully you get a few answers today, man. Hopefully. Y'all go check out my merch, dgmerchandise.com. We got shirts, hoodies, you name it. Different teams as well, not just the Dolphins. Not just the Dolphins, man. But let's listen to our head coach, Mike McDaniel.
Well, I think, this being going into year 4 and working with Chris was very powerful in that we could, really every year, specifically now, where veteran contracts are getting shorter and shorter, post their first contract, their second and third contracts are getting shorter. You're having to solve different problems. I think the way we've attacked it directly relates to, the lessons learned, both good and bad, from the 2 previous years. So when I talk about, the vision that I have, for our team in 2025, that includes players that are on the upward ascension of development, players that I think that we can further develop and that can contribute to a culture of, a team first mentality that wins down the stretch of the season. So, so far so good. We still have a lot of work. Free agency has gotten a little longer, so to speak, in my opinion. I think that it gets drawn out. There's a lot of transactions early, and then people are kind of trying to find their best fit. We're in communication with some players, and we have 10 draft picks, and those guys are unique because you have the ability to have a 4 to 5 year contracted employee that really can influence the character and culture of your team as you progress. So I'm really excited, specifically for what we've done, who the types of players that we've added, and the scope of how we're going to address our needs. And I would love to tell you exactly what we're doing. Vaguely, I think that would be a competitive disadvantage. So I think, I felt like I hadn't looked at him in a while. But so it is so far so good.
So it seemed like he's really targeting people that he could still develop to be the best players that they can be. He'll probably make an exception for Calais Campbell. He'll make an exception for Teron Armstead. You can't deny those players, but other players that seem like they're at their peak, and we're getting them on their downfalls. We got to avoid that right there. For real.
In lesser words.
Tyreek Hill posted on social media what appeared to be a peace out emoji in response to a post suggesting he could be traded. Have you spoken to him about this?
Whoa. No, I have not spoken about alleged read-ins on social media, no, because he's been he's definitely been a face within our building in the time period of end of season before phase 1 starts. He's been in the building more this year than the other years combined.
That's crazy. That is crazy. But hey, that's good news to hear, man. Tyreek Hill, y'all over here bashing him, saying that we should trade him. But that boy over there working. He over there 24/7. He over there 24/7. We still bashing Tyreek Hill. Talking about, hey, what we could get for Tyreek Hill. We still talking about that. That's kind of disrespectful right there, especially since Tyreek Hill, he probably is the best player on the team. Even though he ain't performed like it last year, we still got to give him that. You still got to give him that, man.
Him and Robert Prince have spent a good amount of time together. And, I think
that's the new receiver coach. So that's good to hear. Very, very good to hear.
Beyond that, who knows, Tyreek's known for whatever antics on social media. He's entertaining and whatever. So we're in a good spot where if there's anything that I needed to know, direct communication would be executed.
So he's saying that he trusts him and Tyreek Hill's relationship to the point where he don't care about what he posts on social media. He already know what's up with him and Tyreek. So hey, if he say that their relationship good, then I'm gonna assume that the relationship is good, especially since Tyreek Hill is spending a lot of time with the receiver coach, the new receiver coach. That's positive right there. That's positive.
No, I think that's a great question because I think our team in that scenario, I think I would be pumped if he was voted captain because I think that Tyreek being accountable for who he is as a competitor and the what he's learned from in his journey. I think that means that his teammates have seen him completely. That they're all healed. They've all, as teammates, fully embraced the whole process of, hey, I'm a human being. This is wrong. This is right. This is how I want to do things. So to me, that would show, a healthy evolution, because, anytime anything happens, it's very natural. Like you have teammates that you love. They do something that that they regret, or maybe that they wish they could have done over again. Well, then you give them the opportunity to prove otherwise, and I think that's what Tyreek's up for the challenge, because Tyreek wants to set the standard of what type of competitors we have, so that I think if we're in a spot like that, we're probably healthy in a way that would be good for the organization and all of Finn's nation.
We're gonna need Tyreek Hill to be a leader the whole season, not 75%, not 60%. You can't give up at the end of the season like you did last year. This year we're gonna need you 100% every game. Every game, Tyreek. This team is looking up to you. You the best player on the team. Everybody looking up to you right now. Everybody. So we gonna need you, Tyreek. Most definitely.
I mean, I can certainly say with certainty that at this certain moment, I think that's there. A lot of things can happen in the National Football League, so you throw absolutes out there, and then I'm hey, you said this. I mean, but yeah, we are fully planning to move forward as a better version of our relationship with Tyreek and the Miami Dolphins. So I have no reason to think otherwise.
Mike used the word accountable earlier.
So I guess that means that he will not be trading Tyreek Hill, no matter how much trade packages y'all put on Twitter. He will not be trading Tyreek Hill. Hey, maybe during the middle of the year, if things are going bad, that might be something that might happen. But as of right now, it seems like we're gonna keep Tyreek Hill and we're gonna keep it rolling. That's what it seemed like.
When answering Chris's question about Tyreek, I mean, his most recent actions publicly were the I'm out thing and then some of the things he said on social media. So is there something maybe he said to you that tells you he's turning the corner and will be more accountable?
Absolutely. That's very fair, Hal, and I appreciate the how you kind of painted that picture. I would anticipate and totally understand. All right, the scope with which the fan base has a vision on, and what the in-house relationships are. I'm speaking from a place of that's a scar when it happens to you. For that's what I talked about on my couch the day after the game with Tyreek. That's like, hey, that's something that we have now gone through. What are we going to do about it? And I see action. The phrase I use with the players all the time is that I see better than I hear. And so the off-season connectivity, based upon my relationship and my experience in previous off-seasons, how he's been in the building, what he's been talking about, I know what has been put on display during the regular season when we've had a fully attacking Tyreek Hill in the off-season, being the pace car for all the sprints, being all of those things, and I fully expect to get a better version of that horse that is the reason that he was voted captain, and I think that's the biggest thing is there's been a lot of work that we don't go and publicize, but hours of human connectivity gives me the confidence that we're at a good space. And you know what? No one's entitled to anything, including myself. I fully expect that during any NFL season that if based upon my work, if there was someone that would be better served, the team would be better off in place of me to do that work, I should immediately be replaced. And, I feel
Don't say that right now. Do not say that right now while you're in the hot seat too. Do not say that, man. But basically, what coach is saying that Tyreek Hill, he's showing the better version of himself, in the locker room where we are not. So the other players are seeing what Tyreek is providing to this team. So maybe we're gonna get the best version of Tyreek Hill out there. He's gonna get all his targets back. We had a lot more success when we gave Tyreek Hill the ball compared to last year. So that's what I'm getting from this message.
confident because he's saying and doing the right things. And, from an organizational standpoint, we've said that it's unacceptable. I say those words because, okay, well, we're not going to accept that. So he knows that. He's comfortable with that. It's not there's a good opportunity for people for Tyreek Hill to do what's best served for him and his career, and what's best served for the Dolphins is for everybody is him excelling. I have confidence that he's putting himself in that position, and this secondly gives me information that I should think otherwise, then we'll adjust.
On another level,
I'm pretty sure Tyreek Hill not gonna hit the 2K, but I feel like Tyreek Hill could probably hit 17. 17 is gonna feel like 2K next year if he gets 17. I highly doubt 2K, but 17, I'll be okay with that.
we know he went through the wrist surgery and all. At what point will he be a full go? Will it be the start of training camp, the start of regular season?
Oh, so there's and this was important in the process because we really wanted to have a good off season with him, and that he prioritized that. So he made sure to be proactive, and the biggest thing is he's able to run. So that process we don't have to rush, and he will be able to do the things. There's so much in the receiver game in particular that all of the technique and fundamentals that are critical to you doing exceptional has to do with your feet and not contact. He'll be in the off season. We won't rush it, so there won't be any setbacks. But we'll gradually work him into catching the football and going through that process, so that at the end of the off-season program, we should be able to get that work that we were unable to the season before. But the key thing is he can run now. So there is a lot of participation available to him in the off-season program, which is what the team and what he needed.
So that's a good thing. So Tyreek Hill, he probably still working out, but just doing cardio type stuff, just running, not catching the football, making sure the wrist gets healed. But hopefully nothing changes. Hopefully he don't start dropping a lot of balls because of the surgery. Who knows? But hopefully he has a speedy recovery. That's what we're hoping for, man. Richard Keys said, word salad or word solid. I don't know what you mean, fam. McDaniel is the dude who says a lot about not. I'm saying, but right now, this is all we got. This is the closest thing to Dolphins football that we got right now. This is the closest thing, man. So I got to deal with this. Good evening, DGE, and our Dolphins gang in the chat. Everyone here coming in, hit that like button, subscribe, and support DG and shop that merchandise, dgemerchandise.com. Let's go. We got the Dolphins 1972 Super Bowl shirts. Y'all go check that out. Appreciate you, Crazy Dolphin. Let's get back to the video.
You had the Commanders in training camp last year. I know you had your own job, but the job that Dan Quinn did with the Commanders, and do you expect that you guys will be the international game?
Wait. I'm pretty sure we're going international, right? I think we know that. I don't. It's hard to keep track of what I'm supposed to say and what I'm not. We will be in Madrid. I don't know against who, but
I'm hearing this against the Bengals. That's what I'm hearing. We're gonna play the Bengals in Madrid. We're supposed to play the Bengals at home, but it probably gonna be in Barcelona, man. So I'm gonna start saving up now. I'm gonna try to do whatever I can to make it to Barcelona, man. Go to Madrid, go for that Dolphins game, man. I'm gonna try my best, bro. I could do all I could do is pray and just keep working, man. Keep working so I could try to make it there. So I can try to make it.
but you know, I know as
What's
much
good,
as I
fam? What's good? What's
could
good?
doing the job that I have about Dan Quinn's season last year because I was chewing at the bit for that opportunity for some time. I know what type of coach Dan Quinn is. I also know what type of general manager Adam Peters is working with him.
The thing about Dan Quinn, Dan Quinn used to work with Mike McDaniel when he was with the Falcons. And Dan Quinn, his first year on the job, he won what two playoff games. Mike McDaniel, 4 years on his job, hasn't won anything. So I understand they had Jaden Daniels, but Mike McDaniel, there's no excuses. You should have at least won one playoff game up to this point. At least one, no matter who in. No matter who in. So hopefully this year the year. But if it's not and you let Dan Quinn outdo you his first 2 years, then that's not going to look good on your resume. That's not going to look good.
5 years in San Francisco, and I knew Dan was going to, he just really, really does things for the right reasons and is passionate about it. So he's been waiting for the opportunity. I couldn't wait for him to get it. I thought, what a perfect scenario, having worked there previous, working for a fan or coaching for a fan base that truly appreciates what he has to offer. I just knew that was so I was expecting some positive returns. I don't think I could have forecasted it that quick, but I didn't rule it out either because, they're building stuff the right way. And in the National Football League, starting from the top, when you have a good relationship, a good working relationship that's real between the head coach and general manager, and you're making decisions for a concerted right reason above board of ego and whatever, it's a matter of time, but I see success more often than not in those situations. So I'm very fired up because he's a true, to me, Dan Quinn attacks the job the way organizations, the way fan bases, the way players all deserve. He's going all in and doing whatever he can to help realize players' dreams and help win football games. So, huge Dan Quinn fan, if you didn't notice.
Shoot, if Cliff Kingsbury lost his job with the Commanders and they need a new OC, the Dolphins let go of Mike McDaniel, we could see Mike McDaniel be the next offensive coordinator for the Commanders. And he's going to be the one coaching up Jaden Daniels. That'll be crazy to see right there. But I do see that happening. If nothing happens this year with the Dolphins and then they end up letting Mike McDaniel go, I do see him going to the Commanders. I don't know about y'all. Y'all let me know in the comments if I'm crazy, but I see it.
So, both guys are, there's reasons they're some of our favorite guys. Great communication with both of them. Calais specifically, is in a unique situation where he's assessing, multiple options.
Yeah, he's not coming back. Calais is not coming back, man. Multiple options. And I know Miami Dolphins not gonna give the highest offer. I know that for a fact, man. So Calais, he out of here. Teron Armstead, I know Teron Armstead said it's either the Dolphins or nothing else. That's what Teron said.
As a, you know, a player in the 45th year of his career. So, like, I
Tried him.
understand, and there's a lot at play in that with regard to, all right, so you're afforded your play is high, you decided to play another year. He's assessing those options, and he's a very important, he was a very important player to the team last year, and I see him having the opportunity to be a very important player on the team this year. I also see within that position group, because of reasons of a competitive disadvantage that I've mentioned before, I can't. I feel like we have some options at the position. He has some options. It is
We have some options. So we probably got some other D tackles that we talking to, but we haven't made anything official yet. Some free agent D tackles. Let me see who's available right now, real quick. Best available free agents. See who's available. D tackles. Raekwon Davis, he's still available. I'm pretty sure we're not going to sign him. John Jenkins, former Dolphin, he's still available. Linval Joseph, that could be somebody. Jonathan Hankins, that could be somebody. Maurice Hurst, Benito Jones, he's back with us. He's back with us. Jordan Phillips, former Dolphin. A lot of former Dolphins on this list. A lot of former Dolphins. I wonder who Mike McDaniel talking about on this list that he's still keeping in touch with. Maurice Hurst, that's an interesting name right there. Interesting name. Could be talking about him.
that position in particular has been, a focal point, of mine this off season, and I feel good about how it could play out. And there's a couple different scenarios that could play out, as well as Tehran. I like I said at Indy, it's important for me to operate as though he is unavailable to us. He's a consummate professional that has earned this opportunity to figure out what he wants to do with his life. However, I do feel, in a reasonable amount of, I don't know, what's a reasonable time? Reasonably, let's say 2 weeks. I just feel he's getting close. He's getting closer.
2 weeks, Teron Armstead, we're going to find out the answer. 2 weeks. I highly doubt that we're going to lose Calais Campbell and Teron Armstead. I feel like if Calais Campbell hangs it up, we're probably going to keep Teron Armstead, or vice versa. Ain't no way we're going to lose both of them boys, man. That's going to be devastating right there. If we don't have Teron Armstead and Calais, devastating.
To having conviction, but we're in constant communication with him as well.
ActiveCampaign is the marketing automation platform built for big swings and big dreams.
That's something that I think that will kind of be motivated by, all right, the great thing about Toronto
What's good, Vamos?
We have had
Appreciate you.
Unbelievable amount of conversations about his body and how he feels. Like that, right? And so I think they're, tied into that, where he's at relative to other years and how we could realistically forecast it. I think that's going to kind of shape, the answer to that question, because it hasn't ever been about Tehran's play, right? It's been about how he's been available, and he's been straining to be more available for us than probably a counterpart would. He's played through a lot of stuff. And I think, we're fortunate that we have a heavy amount of reps on the topic, and we'll be able to, have a conversation about what that looks like, because that will be clean when that comes. What he'll be coming back as, whether that if he would be even able to compete to be able to withstand the rigors of the season as a starter.
Why do you have confidence in Zach?
Yeah, Teron Armstead, you gotta be careful, man. Gotta be careful with the injuries. Ain't no stopping those. Sometimes Teron Armstead, he'll be a veteran, not practice person. He'll be that, and he'll probably practice one day out the week, and then he'll play. Because the most important thing about Teron Armstead is making sure that he stays healthy. The most important thing. If you can't stay healthy, then hopefully Patrick Paul could make it happen. We're praying on that. But we don't know.
Wilson is the right choice if Tua were to miss time, as he has, we all know, in some recent years.
Well, I think it's layered. This was something that was on, our mind for a considerable amount of time. And it goes back to, everybody has a different circumstance, but we drafted a quarterback in San Francisco the year he came out. I watched every snap of his collegiate play, and he was a phenomenal talent that, in my opinion, didn't have reps at an NFL pocket yet. Like at BYU, he was launching it from about 10 and 11 yards deep, and you're not in the phone booth. And so in my estimation, there was going to be some nuanced growth to his game that I think it is close to impossible to excel at that early in that new form of football that he was playing. That's powerful to me in that
He just ain't want to throw shade at his former team, saying that they ain't develop him correctly. So I feel like with Mike McDaniel, he sees like a perfect scheme fit with Zach Wilson. I'm pretty sure he sees that in the film, man. He talking about college film, so he been watching the BYU film. He been watching it. Y'all could check out my YouTube page. I reacted to that right there because I knew like Mike McDaniel was watching that BYU film. Like, damn, maybe there could be something there, man. And if Mike McDaniel could magically make Zach Wilson look good as a quarterback, we definitely probably gonna keep Mike McDaniel on the Miami Dolphins. We're gonna keep him. If you could show us that he can have a winning record with Zach Wilson, if he ends up being the starter permanently, then Mike McDaniel, you're gonna keep your job, and then we're gonna be all questioning Tua. So I don't know if that's my prediction, but I could see that happening.
there's very few people that know what it's like to be drafted high in New York City. And so then to see his resolve, to see where he's digested the whole situation, and it's like anything for all of us. Okay, if you have adversity in your life, that can be a source of strength and growth, or it could be a source of, all right, that's what defines you, and you can't get over that. What I see in Zach is the experience of being the second pick in the draft, being the starter week one, and then not fulfilling the rookie contract. That is behind him. So to me, that's an exciting prospect, because you can't put a measurement on that human ability that is huge at the quarterback position.
So he basically saying the reason why he ain't go after a vet because you could low key know like what the maximum, uh, whatever they gonna provide you on the field, they gonna show you in regards to what's the highest amount of pay that they could give you. You know how well they gonna work with this offense. I would have liked Joe Flacco, but it seems like McDaniel sees a high upside with Zach Wilson with us, a very very high upside. That's why he took the shot. That's why he took the chance on him. You know, maybe Zach Wilson can save Mike McDaniel's job. Maybe. Bro, they need to throw the whole draft on the trenches if he wants to keep his job. I doubt they gonna do that. I highly doubt that, but we gonna see. We gonna see. I don't know about Patrick Paul, bro. I didn't see anything good last year. Hey, last year is last year. You know, I'm hoping this year he could show us that he's at least mid, and I'll be okay with that. You know, at least he's getting better each year. If he comes out this year and he's trash again, then that's when I'm gonna start getting scared. That's when I'll be worried. I feel the same way about Mike McDaniel and Zach Wilson being a new starting project. You know, you rebuild Tua, rebuild Zach Wilson. Let's see what you can do. Let's see what you can do, man.
Not comparing the players at all on the record, not comparing the players. Tua found that this environment helped him through that process. As coaches, we want to offer literally everything to his game, and I'm excited about where he's at based upon him.
So why was it a move not for a more veteran experience?
Well, to be quite frank, it's an inexact science, but we thought that he was the best option for us. So,
Wow.
you know, and I know, I think he was very much, I guess you guys wouldn't know this. I guess you guys are flying blind, so let me help you out. He was a direct, calculated target. We thought that was a way that the Miami Dolphins could get better, and are excited to see how he seizes that opportunity.
That's interesting right there. Very interesting. Instead of going for Russell Wilson, instead of going for Jameis Winston, instead of going for who else? Aaron Rodgers, Justin Fields, they decided to go with Zach Wilson. That's strange, but it makes sense. It makes sense, you know, but you taking a big risk. You know, Zach Wilson might end up being the worst quarterback out of all those guys. Might end up being the worst, but he has the potential to be the best out of that whole bunch right there. You know, Aaron Rodgers, you probably ain't go that route. Aaron Rodgers and Tua in the same quarterback room don't make sense. Russell Wilson, that kind of do make sense, but based off that contract, Dolphins probably weren't going to pay that to Russell Wilson. You know, he probably going to have to come here and he going to want to be the starter. He's not going to try to compete with Tua. He's going to be like, don't sign me if I'm not going to be the starter. So Russell Wilson, that's a no. Who else? Justin Fields. You know, that would be a competition right there. But look how much the Jets signed him to. $20 million a year. No way the Dolphins doing that. So based off the money and the upside, Zach Wilson was definitely the best option. You know, but sometimes the best option is not the best option, and Zach Wilson might not end up working out, but there's also a chance that he could.
No, that would be a very unique conversation. No, I think I think it's important. I see the pattern of what it is to be a head coach and the responsibilities and the realities of it very clear. Mr. Ross's has been only supportive to me, and ultimately, there's the way I look at it is I expect him to act on what I believe my position to be. Okay, so I'm not entitled to my position as the head coach of the Miami Dolphins. And so as we work together, he knows my expectation is to be the best person for the job. And, that can get convoluted. Was I the best person for the job last year? We lost more than we won. We were 8-9. There's a bunch of variables in that. There's variables in success. I think Nick Sirianni was, I want to be on that hot seat he was on last year.
Yeah, Sirianni, he was on the hot seat. Then boom, the next year, the boys won the Super Bowl. But at the same time, you're not looking at what they did in the offseason. They went and got Saquon Barkley. I feel like that Saquon Barkley signing won the Eagles the Super Bowl. That's what I feel like. I don't think we made a signing yet that could have won us a Super Bowl. I don't think so. Unless we bring like Calais back and Toronto Armstead back, then I'll think differently. But as of right now, nothing really like catches my eye.
But what else would I expect? You're not entitled to position, and ultimately, if it's deemed that the organization would be best served with someone else, like I'm more on board with that than people realize. I think that's a natural part of it. It's why I didn't start. It's why I was able to not change when the same people are pointing out my failures were hyping me up through success. This is the fastest changing world in sports. Again, Nick Sirianni was on the hottest seat. But so if we had more closer to the season that we were chasing, if we won 2 more games, does that make me a different coach? I think it's important for me to do my job the right way, that I never look at any sort of entitlement to having the job, because shame on me for everybody involved. And that I'm very comfortable in that. So every year.
So he basically said he okay if he loses a job. He's saying it's okay if he loses a job. That's what he's saying. It's all right. I want what's best for the Dolphins. That's what he's saying. But your goal should be trying to be the best for the Dolphins, not thinking about, man, I want what's best for the Dolphins. That's what's on your mind right now. I want what's best for the Dolphins. That's a good thing to think, but you low-key gotta make yourself the best to the point where we can't let you go. But you got this year to prove that. You got this year. Let me see. Zach Wilson is only 25 years old. Yeah, that's another factor right there. They could have easily went with a veteran to put behind Tua, but they went and got a young guy who could probably like take Tua's spot at any moment. At any moment, man. So the backup quarterback that we signed this offseason is going to tell you everything that you need to know about your starting quarterback. And Zach Wilson, he's one of them ones as to where Tua could lose his job. Mike McDaniel may be bringing players in to fit a Zach Wilson scheme. I'm starting to believe that slowly. Yeah, I'm starting to believe that as well. Starting to believe that. Dub 20 facts. Most definitely. Shout out to you. I don't see it happening with Tua. I'm sorry. I just don't. And I feel like Mike McDaniel, he probably sees it not happening with Tua. He had to go out and get Zach Wilson. He had to go out and get Zach Wilson, a guy that they have confidence in. He was watching his college tape as if maybe he could be the starter, not just as a backup. So I think there's a shot. I think there's a shot. Miami Daniel voice is annoying, hard to listen to him. It's easy to listen to him when we winning, but when we losing, it's like what? You get offended when we losing, and he talking like this, like bro, like come on, man, come on, man. Because he has a backup plan with the Commanders. Yeah, I said that earlier on stream, man. I think him and Dan Quinn got something going on just in case if them boys lose. Uh, Cliff Kingsbury, I'm pretty sure they will target Mike McDaniel if the Dolphins let him go. Mike Tomlin, if he don't do nothing with the Steelers, I feel like Mike Tomlin might come to Miami. I feel like Mike Tomlin would be a good fit as a coach in Miami. He'll keep the players disciplined in a city that's very hard to be disciplined in. Mike McDaniel's not that type of head coach to keep the players disciplined in a city like Miami. Don't seem like it. It seemed like he be out in the clubs. You know, um, People probably don't notice him when he in there, but it seemed like he be outside. But nobody just don't know when he outside. Mike Tomlin, he not worried about being outside. He gonna hit up Tyreek if he hears something on the street or on the news. Like, hey, what you got going on? Might be then gonna be like, oh, it's okay, Tyreek, just don't do it next time. Mike Tomlin, he getting on your ass. He is. He about to do the same thing with DK. DK about to be right out there. And, Mike Tomlin handled Antonio Brown, George Pipkins, you name it. You know, Mike Tomlin coming to Miami, ain't nobody running over him. Ain't nobody telling him what to do. Mike Tomlin, he's gonna be a well-established head coach here. I feel like he needs a change from the Steelers. Definitely needs a change. And the Steelers need a change as well. A new younger coach, offensive mind, and Mike Tomlin need to go somewhere as to where, maybe he gonna enjoy the palm trees, the sunsets. Maybe that's what he needs. On top of that, with this team, he can make us more mature and a tougher team just based off his mentality alone.
To me, you're if you're not feeling heat on the seat, you have the wrong urgency. It should be that way every year because this is not my gift. This is an incredible responsibility that I only sign up for because I think I'm the best person suited for it, and it's as matter of fact as that. So we don't have to have any of those weird conversations. Hmm? Well, I think culture is defined by the human beings. I think what's unique, and I think could be something that, I don't know, if I investigated, I could write about, is that there's more roster turnover in the National Football League now. There's smaller veteran contracts, right? Or there's smaller second and third year contracts. You've seen a lot more 3 years or 2 years or 1 year. So how do you have a sustained culture? Well, it's by the people. Well, draft classes, not only have to be impactful year one, your draft classes are also your 4 to 5 year commitments that you have the ability to set the tonality of how your team is or the culture that it has. So to me, I was very happy with last year's draft class. And we're.
Are you sure? Are you sure? Chop Robinson, I give you that. Patrick Paul, I don't know. Patrick Morris, I don't know. Malik, okay, I don't know. Who was Jalen Wright? Yeah, I can't really say that's the dude. Except for Chop Robinson, I give Chop Robinson that. But everybody else, you can't really say that you did something with those picks. You can't say nothing now. We gotta wait till the season. But the only one that we could really hang our hat on is Chop Robinson.
We're working, Chris and I are working day and night to make sure we have the same vigor about the opportunity with the 10 draft picks this year, because you're talking about in 2 years 17 players that you have a sustained process in a league where with parity it's all about development. So we're trying to get the right guys to develop as professionals, and their core value has to be team football winning, and they really have to get joy out of that.
So you basically got to pick the guys that have flaws that you think that your coaching staff could fix. There could be a lot of high upside guys in this draft, but the Dolphins could pass up on them because they think that there's something there that they cannot fix. But if it's something that you think that you can fix, take the shot. If you trust your coaching staff to develop anybody, then it shouldn't even matter. But if you want to make sure it's as easy and as smooth as possible, get the right guys who fit your scheme, who could run fast, sideline to sideline. You want to create a different culture, so you got to get a lot of tough players from college, a lot of tough players, and that's going to set the tone for years to come. Plenty of years to come.
That was a component that was consistent among the different personalities we drafted last year. All these guys were living and breathing football, and I think that's even more important as each team, all 32, have a unique exercise. It has changed in the last couple years, specifically, of having your football team having an identity that progresses while handling all the roster turnover that's natural with all these shorter contracts that people are signed up for. So it is, I think the draft has always been fun. The draft has always been important. There's a unique twist to the draft now, as I see it, big picture, and it's very important that we not only take all the things that we did well from last year and that draft class, but we have 3 more. We have 10 picks, and so that we try to have as many contributors to our football team and our culture as possible with those draft picks that will be here for a minute.
You mentioned it as a play calling head coach. What do you value most in an offensive coordinator? How do you see it turn out?
Well, I think it's super important as a play calling head coach that the only way that you can even enter into that sphere is if you're properly assisted, because there's a merger, so to speak, of a couple jobs. Well, you can't do 2 jobs. You'll be poor at both. So to merge those, there has to be a support system within the coaching staff that enables you to do that. And what that is are people that can see the game, that can see the game how you will see it, or anticipate how you'll see it, and really do a lot of front end work so you can make your decisions that you'd normally do in a shorter amount of time. So what does that look like for me? I have, starting with Frank Smith, and then, Butch Berry, and, I added Bobby Sloak. Those guys, they should be able to tell me what personnel group I should be studying first, where I used to have to figure out that the best personnel group to study was this, that deep into my process. They should be able to get me there. So now I'm, examples like that. They have to be very adept at their job. They have to be self-starters. You can't do it without the right support, or you'll fail.
I think he's throwing shade at Wes Walker with this one. I think he's throwing shade, man. It seems like he's stating that Wes Walker wasn't meeting him halfway with coaching. It seemed like he had to initiate everything, whatever he wanted the receivers to do. Wes Walker was doing it. Wes Walker wasn't putting his 2 cents in regards to what could help the receivers get better. And maybe Tyreek Hill had a problem with that. And that's probably why we let him go. Man. Throwing shade at the former coaching staff. And then hopefully he made the right changes with this new coaching staff in regards to what he wants around him. Because this year there's no excuses. No excuses, man. Let me see. Because he has a backup plan with the Commanders. Yeah, I already commented on that one. I talked about that earlier on this live stream, actually. I said that McDaniel could go to the Commanders after this year if he is let go. Agree on Mike Tomlin maybe coming to the Miami. I have a feeling about that, man. If Mike Tomlin gets fired, finishes third in the division again, it might be best for them to go their separate ways, and Mike Tomlin would be a great fit in Miami. Great fit in Miami, man. I think we should trade Cheetah for some draft picks, but Coach already said it. He will be keeping Cheetah on the team. I just think that if the season comes along and it ends up going bad, then before the trade deadline, we might try to do something. We might try to do something with a team that needs a good receiver like Tyreek. McDaniel don't be too finessed. Yeah, I say that. If the Shador Sanders sitting at 13, you think we should take him? Not at 13. If you want to trade back, get some more picks and get Sanders, I'll be okay with that, but not with just the 13th overall pick. I wouldn't like that right there. I don't think Prime would like that either. I don't think so. Prime love his boys, man. I-Rock for me, yes, and not because of his dad. I could be wrong. I don't think he goes as high, based off what some people are saying. If he falls out of the top 6, where he could land. Who knows? Maybe the Saints. That's what I'm hearing.
At both, and there is one place that you can't hide in the National Football League, and that's a play calling and head coach. You can't hide there, so you better be supported.
Shout out to Coach McDaniel. Shout out to him. Next we got Artie Burns. We're gonna react to his press conference, see what he got to say, and we got some other news as well. So stay tuned for that. But let's check out our new cornerback, Artie Burns. He at the crib. He was just in Palm Beach with Malik Washington too. They was vibing over here. So a lot of NFL personnel and players were in Palm Beach.
Jackson, Miami Herald, great to have you back in South Florida. So you will be, I think, the 51st former Cane to suit up in a regular season game for the Dolphins. Is that meaningful to you? Growing up down here, had you thought about playing for the Dolphins? Is that kind of a dream come true in some ways?
Yeah, most definitely. Being born and raised in Miami, and having a chance to be a professional in my own backyard, it's definitely a dream come true.
And were there other teams who showed interest this offseason where you picked Miami over someone else?
Yeah, it was some other teams interested, but, I feel like Miami had the best opportunity for me, to show my talents.
Thanks.
Isaiah?
What's going on? Artie, Isaiah Smos from the Miami Herald. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. First off, welcome home. Question about your versatility. I know that you played inside and then I'm sorry, nickel and then outside corner. Is there a preference there? Which do you feel like showcases your skill sets the best? Which position?
Looking to scale customer service without scaling headcount?
I feel like it don't really matter where I play. I feel like in the point in the career, I am in my career right now, I definitely want to be around the ball more and make more plays. And I feel like nickel could highlight that for me. But also corner, you get to be that man-to-man lockdown corner. You had opportunities to lock down some of the best guys in the league out there. So, both positions present a bunch of opportunities for us.
Cool. Appreciate you, man.
He want to be everywhere. He want to be everywhere, man. Hey, you got to put on for the crib this year, man. You're not taking nothing less. Got to put on for the crib.
Chris?
Hey, Artie, Chris Perkins from the South Florida Sun Sentinel. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
I'm good. Hey, a couple of things here. Number one, what kind of role are you envisioning for yourself with the Dolphins this season?
I envision myself coming in, helping the team in every me being team is going into my 10th year. I hold a bunch of experience, and I'm just ready to work on the field, on the grass, ready to, I've been in this system before with Mike McDaniel in Seattle, so I'm real familiar with it, and I just want to bring the tools that I have, that I learned, and then apply it over here.
Got you. The other thing, I'm doing a thing on draft night experience for players, and I've been asking a bunch of players about their draft night experience. I think you went number 25, if I'm not mistaken. Tell me about the draft night experience. Were you worried about going in the first round? Tell me about that night.
It's crazy. When I was coming out, Miami had like a Miami Pro Day for all like local guys to come out and work out for the team. It was like, they insinuated, man, if I have a good workout, they was going to pull a trigger on me in the first round,
Hell nah. Hell nah. I don't think Miami would have chose him. I don't think so. Y'all think so? Artie Burns draft class. Oh, he was in the 2016 NFL draft. I'm going to look that up to see who we chose over Artie. Okay, so Jared Goff, he got picked number 1. Carson Wentz, Joey Bosa. Oh, we picked Laramie Tunsil. Nah, we're not going to pick you over Laramie Tunsil. You seen what Laramie Tunsil done for us these past few years. Laramie Tunsil blessed us, man. Definitely blessed us. So we definitely wasn't going to get Artie Burns with our 13th overall pick this year. Definitely not, especially since Laramie Tunsil fell to us at number 13. Come on, man. Ain't a lot of people you choosing cornerback over a tackle, a generational tackle at that. So sorry, Artie. Artie went number 25 to the Steelers. Maybe in the second round, but Artie coming out, he was a very, very good cornerback. Very, very good cornerback. We picked up Xavier Howard in the next round. So we had a really good draft this year. Laramie Tunsil, Xavier Howard, we were in our bag, man. We were in our bag. Even if Artie Burns was here and Xavier Howard was here, I would have a hard time choosing Artie Burns over Xavier Howard, bro. Even though Artie Burns from the crib, I got to choose Xavier. Got to choose Xavier, man. So hey, maybe if Artie Burns had fell to our 38th pick this year, maybe we would have got him. Let me see who else we picked up this year. Let me see. Kenyon Drake, he wasn't a bad running back for us. Was pretty good. Leonte Carew, he ain't really do nothing to us. A slower receiver. He was a good route runner, but wasn't that good for us, man. Definitely had some size on him. We definitely wasted that pick. I say that's a bust right there. That was a bust pick. Who we picked up in this round? Don't seem like we picked anybody in this round. Nope. Fifth round. Who the Dolphins picked up? Nobody. Okay. 2 rounds without picking. 6th round. Jakeem Grant, another good pick. Another good pick. Even though he ain't end up working out how we really wanted him to, he actually like stepped up during special teams moments. Definitely used his speed. Clocked in 4.21 at Texas Tech Pro Day. 4.21. So he was our Tyreek Hill before Tyreek Hill. He was. Shout out to Jakeem Grant. Jordan Lucas. He was like a depth piece DB that we got. We had solid safeties already, so we just picked up somebody to back them boys up, but he ain't really end up performing well whenever he came in for them guys. Never really did. So I say that's a bust right there. That's a bust pick. We did good early in this draft, but late, nah, we ain't do good. Brandon Dottie from Western Kentucky. So this was Mike White before Mike White, but we actually drafted him. This is another Skylar Thompson right here. 7th round pick, 6th round pick, quarterback, backup, potential, maybe a starter. Usually Western Kentucky quarterbacks perform well in college, makes you think that they're going to do it in the NFL, and they don't. That's the case most of the time. We went Thomas Durate from UCLA, a tight end. Ain't really end up working out for us. And that's about it, man. But that was a pretty good draft. I'm not even going to lie. Pretty good draft. I don't know if I could see the whole draft class, but it's whatever. Let me get back to the video.
And on draft night, I'm thinking I had a good workout. I think they're gonna pull a trigger on me, and I end up going to Pittsburgh. So it was a fun night. Definitely a bunch of emotions. And it definitely a memorable night.
All right, thanks, Artie.
Joe?
Hey, Artie, it's Joe Schad with the Palm Beach Post. Good to see you. Hey, the Dolphins have a young
Good to see you too,
corner.
man.
Dolphins have a young corner in Cam Smith, who's a developmental player, and a couple of other youngsters. How do you approach at this point, sort of mentoring or helping younger guys?
Just see what they're looking for. Definitely been a new guy in the room. I just want to see, just assess the room and see what everybody already brings to the table, and then just bring what I have. I'm not here to like shake up nothing or move anybody. I'm just here to add on and grow, help the team and keep on moving forward.
Were
Good
you
answer.
a high school teammate of Teddy Bridgewater?
Yes, sir.
Did you talk to him
That's
about
crazy.
the Dolphins experience or what it's like playing at home?
Not yet. I'm just kind of just still settling in, man. I really got my head down for it right now. Just looking forward to OTAs, getting around the team, getting around the guys, getting in the building, and just looking forward to that.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, man.
Your workflow
That's crazy. I didn't know he was a teammate with Teddy. Didn't know that.
is important to us. Please wait indefinitely.
With Monday.com's intuitive work.
We'll go to Omar next.
Artie, hey, been a fan of yours since the Northwestern days. Congratulations on getting home. Let me ask you this question. You were a first-round pick. You had some struggles early in your career, but you're a 10-year veteran, which not a lot of people get to 10 years. What do you think all of these experiences has taught you about yourself and about the league?
Definitely invest in yourself. Find out what's important to you. The things that matters. And because this league is a shaky league. It changes year in, year out. So your values always got to stay the same. To keep on moving because it's always a turning cycle in this league. So I feel like those things kind of help me, just stay grounded and keep on moving forward throughout all ups and downs and stuff like that.
What keeps you playing? Like, why are you still doing this?
Cause I want to control my own narrative. Like you said, I had a, in my early career, I was young. I had a bunch of other responsibilities. And I feel like, just being able to put those things in order and just keep on working, got me here.
How much do you think those responsibilities, because I know about your family situation, obviously everybody who grew up here knows that. How much do you think all of that stuff weighed on you when you were early pro with maybe the Steelers?
Artie Burns, he went through a lot, lost his mom back in the day and all that. So that could have affected him in regards to him being the best player that he can be. But that's the question Omar's asking him right now.
But when I was younger, I didn't understand the psychological part it had on it, mentally, because it's like now that I'm a veteran in the game, I play the game all mental, So I feel like that kind of like clouded a lot of my judgment and understanding of the game, and investment in myself. I wasn't invested in myself. I got my own personal trainer now, and those things kind of help, launch me here.
Mm-hmm. It looks like you're at a training facility now. Is that where you're at?
Yeah, I'm at Sharif, Alkeen Rehab in Davie. Yeah, I just got done a little bit.
Gotcha. And so, where did you laid roots down here in South Florida?
Say it again. What you
did you like your home base is South Florida still? Has always been South Florida?
Yeah, it's always been South Florida. Yep.
Gotcha.
We're gonna go to Isaiah next.
Kind of similar to Omar's question. I mean, 10 years, a lot of guys don't get there. What's been the key to your longevity?
Staying healthy, learning from older guys, even learning from younger guys, and just being open, open to change. I feel like the league is definitely on the brink of changing right now, and just open to it.
Cool. And then quick follow-up, just how excited are you to check out the West this year?
Northwestern?
Yeah.
Man, I'm super excited. I haven't been to a Miami game or UM game in like 10 years, so.
Damn, 10 years? 10 years? That's crazy. That is crazy, man.
Those things are all, I'm looking forward to all those things, man. Gonna be a lot of things going on this year.
For sure. All right, appreciate you.
Mark?
Hey, Artie, it's Mark Stallworth with the Miami Times newspaper. Welcome back.
Glad to be back, man.
Just a quick question related to your high school days. I was looking back. You were all-day third team back in 2011, and then you made the jump to the first team back in 2012. At what point did you realize that you wanted to do this football thing full-time and go professional with it instead of track?
I never made a decision, actually, man. I was just doing both sports, being as best as I can in each sport to like whichever calling came for me. I never really determined like which route I wanted to take. It just chose me for real.
And what was your favorite memory back at the West?
Man, that's a bunch of memories, man. Every day is a memory at the West, man. So many great memories, but man, just being there with all the guys I grew up with, and then we all just going to college. I'll say signing day when we had like 15 guys signing D1 colleges, and going on and representing Miami.
I appreciate it.
Barry?
Artie, there have obviously been many accomplished NFL players like you who've had to spend time briefly on practice squads later in your career with these new rules. How tough was that with Seattle to not get as many defensive snaps, obviously, as earlier in your career, be on the practice squad some? And did you come here with the thinking from either Mike McDaniel or Anthony Weaver that you will be given a chance to earn real playing time here?
I felt like wherever team I went to, I always was given the opportunity, to play and show my talents, and I just hope, well, it will happen. But when I get here, they will see what I can do and then see what I have to offer for the team.
So no role given to you when you signed by Anthony Weaver, Mike McDaniel. No one talked about a specific role with you.
I mean, I could play corner and nickel, and those are things that they want to see me do.
Corner and nickel. He's gonna be multi-versatile out there, man. Shout out to Artie. You know, I talked about him earlier on my YouTube. Y'all go check out that video. Next video we got is Stephon Diggs becoming a Patriot. You know, he back in the AFC East. Hopefully he doesn't return to the Buffalo Bills, Stephon Diggs, when he was balling for them. Hopefully. You know, this is a under the radar signing, you know, but there could be some upside in regards to this signing. Hopefully his leg stays up. You know, he doesn't tear the ACL again. You know, he definitely got to stop hitting them females off the field. You know, probably going to help him on the field. But this was a smart signing by Mike Vrabel. It's just the money. You know, he got a big penny, a very, very big penny, man. I'm pretty sure they're going to draft another receiver as well. So I don't think the Patriots are done. I do not think so. If they end up getting Travis Hunter with Stephon Diggs over there, it might be over for the Dolphins, bro. Might be over. But let's check out Stephon Diggs.
This is excited. This is why I want to get back to work. It is. Because I want to win. I think the most exciting part is like getting in here, get back to work, and you know, catching some passes.
Let me see you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I lead.
What is film wearing, dog? But he's stylish though. He's styling. I'm not even gonna lie. I would wear this. No cap.
Do what I really want in life. You know what I'm saying? Have appreciation for other people, but when it comes to me and my personality, you know, only way to describe it is I'm him. I'm who I say I am. A lot of people that put their stamp on the league. You know, Coach Graves is real convincing, but he had a career that's something that you can attest to of hard work and being a part of something special.
The competitiveness that shows on the tape, the confidence, the play demeanor, the consistency that I've been able to see over the course of my career of playing against them and watching them in this league and grow and work with different quarterbacks.
I'm excited, that's to say the least. I'm excited. So like, this is where God placed me and this is where I'm supposed to be. So I'm gonna give it everything that I got. And I want to win real bad.
He missed the Buffalo Bills, man. That's a sign. He missed them boys. He definitely missed them boys, man. Here we got Stephon Diggs at his press conference. Let's check out what he has to say.
When I was younger, I would say you get in trouble a little bit as far as like being so competitive, not from the standpoint of winning and losing, but mindset. You know what I'm saying? Don't let it get you off your game, being too aggressive and, you know, being in the mind frame of I want to do this, that, and the third, and not really honing in on your game. I feel like now at this point, the more madder I get, the more focused I get. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather beat you than argue with you. You know what I'm saying? I think when I was younger, I was so caught up in like maybe a shouted match or maybe going back and forth with somebody. But at this point in my career, I'm a little older now. I'm in a space where as though I'd rather give you a spanking than but then go back and forth with you. So as far as like me being a competitor, I've always been that way. Like even when I was a little boy, like I wanted to win at everything that I did. I never wanted to lose, so I'll never lose that. But I think the older I get, the worse it gets because it's like, damn, I really expect to win. So if I lose, it's like it was my fault.
I don't think Stephon Diggs will change. He'll still be out there with his antics. When he don't get the ball, you're going to notice it. You're going to notice it. You're going to see it this year for sure, man. He act like he all calm, cool, collected right now. But when the season come, watch. Watch what happens. Watch what happens, man. I know it's not going to end up too well with Stephon Diggs. I know it. Here's what Drake May had to say about Stephon Diggs signing with the Patriots. Let's check him out.
So fucking back. It was about time that this. We were so fucking back. It was about time that this fuck ass team got me some help. I mean, Diggs isn't a T. Higgins or Cooper Kupp, but he's better than the bums I was throwing to last season. His diva ass shouldn't have any problems because he'll be the only receiver we have on the fucking roster. Maybe now I can get an actual offensive line instead of 5 random fat asses in the streets of Boston, so I can actually have some time to throw to Diggs. We were so fucking
man,
back.
AI
It was
is
about
crazy,
time.
man. AI is crazy. I'm pretty sure he's saying this behind closed door. Pretty sure he's saying this behind closed doors, man. So shout out to Drake May. Stephon Diggs has something interesting to say about Drake May. I gotta show you. I gotta see where it's at. Here's what Stephon
When you
Diggs had
ask
to say about Drake May.
Well, I'm excited. I really look forward to it. It's crazy because when you ask around, he has a lot of similarities. Well, people say through the grapevine, he acts a lot like Josh, and that was my guy. So I look forward to meeting and connecting with him. Well, I'm excited.
He looking for the next Josh Allen. He looking for the next Josh Allen, and he probably sees that in Drake May. But I'm pretty sure like Stephon Diggs, he came here for the bag. He came here for the bag. And on top of that, you see some potential with Drake May, but the fact that Drake May is getting less money than you. So it's a better situation because you're able to get the maximum amount of money that you could get compared to if you went to a team that already had a quarterback established. And on top of that, the cap hit for the team is a large amount compared to a rookie scale quarterback. There's enough money to go around to everybody. There's enough money to go around to everybody. And the Patriots, the team who had the most cap space coming into free agency. That's where Stephon Diggs signed. But we're going to see if they can make something happen. We're going to see. Hopefully not. If they do, that is bad news for the Dolphins. Very, very bad news. Let's see. Stephon Diggs, he been putting in work this offseason. Definitely putting in work. He should be ready by week 1. Getting that quickness right after that surgery. See, he's squatting now, doing lunges. Remember, he tore his ACL. The fact that he's doing this, he should be ready in no time soon. That boy been working. He been doing this and seeing Cardi B. That's what he been doing. That's what he been doing. But we got Jalen Ramsey for him. We got Jalen Ramsey. So I'm not really too worried about what Stephon Diggs got going on. I'm not really too worried about it. There go Christian Gonzalez in the back, his new teammate. Ain't that him? I think that's him. That boy doing sleds now. Hey, it's good to see Stephon Diggs back, but it's bad to see him back as well. Bad to see him back. Yeah, he look healthy. That boy look healthy.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. Yeah.
Now I see why the Patriots signed him. Watching this and you're a Patriots fan, you would admire like giving him a shot. You hear the ACL tear and you kind of get worried thinking about Stephon Diggs. You kind of write him off after that. But I don't know, man. We probably shouldn't write off Stephon Diggs, especially with his mentality.
Your production.
Here we got Stephon Diggs talking about his production. Let's check this out.
as far as like with the money, I know the money will follow with your production. Like what I've done in the past is my resume, but at this point, I'm really looking forward to put my best foot in front of me. Even towards last year, I was at like 47 receptions and like 450 or something like that, close to 500 yards. So that's halfway through the season. With I would have been on pace to have another 1,000-yard season and 100 catches if I didn't get banged up. So if you're doing the math right, I'm gonna be productive. As far as like with the money.
Oh, so he's saying since he played half the year and he put up those numbers, he could probably give you 100 and 1,000. 100 and 1,000. You know, if he stays healthy, he will definitely be a 1,000-yard receiver. I don't think the Patriots had that last year, 1,000-yard receiver. I don't think so. And Stephon Diggs, he's gonna come in, be that number one. You know, but we gonna see who else the Patriots bring in, man. If they get Travis Hunter, man, Travis Hunter gonna be the number one. He gonna be the number one, and he gonna be that cornerback on the other side of Christian Gonzalez. That's gonna make the Patriots a very competitive team. Adding Travis Hunter to this team, man, that's scary. That is scary, man, but it's very likely that it could happen. Very, very likely.
Money, I know the money will follow with your production. Like what I've done in the past is my resume, but at this point, I'm really looking forward to put my best foot in front of me. Even towards last year, I was at like 47 receptions and like 450 or something like that, close to 500 yards. So that's halfway through the season. With I would have been on pace to have another 1,000-yard season and 100 catches if I didn't get banged up. So if you're doing the math right, I'm gonna be productive.
That boy definitely doing the math. Definitely.
Professional.
Right here we have the legend Edelman talking about Stephon Diggs, you know, former Patriots wide receiver. So it's pretty cool hearing him talk about Stephon Diggs signing.
What you do get with Stephon Diggs is you get a professional. You can ask anyone around town, anyone around the league. The guy works hard. He knows how to run every route, and he's a professional when he's in the building. Yes, there's antics, but number two, I like Mike Vrabel dealing with those antics because he dealt with A.J. Brown. He knows how to deal with a big-time receiver. We didn't hear anything out of A.J. Brown. He's a very, like, alpha type of guy that's played in the league that can communicate with these guys. And then number three, he's pissed off at the Bills still. Like, why wouldn't you want a little fire in a room, the receiver room for New England, that hasn't performed in years? Why wouldn't you want a little fire in there? That's what Stephon Diggs is going to bring. He's going to bring some urgency, which that room needs. He's going to bring some motivation. Yes, there's going to be some other stuff, but I trust that Mike Vrabel will take care of that.
Yeah, so Mike Vrabel knew that he used to play for the Buffalo Bills. That probably was another reason why they said, man, you know, let's bring him in just because he used to play for the Bills. Maybe that will make him play even better for us. So I know Stephon Diggs going to hit 1K unless he gets injured again. I know he's going to hit 1K. Most definitely, man. So Stephon Diggs, we definitely got to be careful about him this year. Most definitely. Right here we have Mike Vrabel talking about Stephon Diggs. Let's check this out.
There's a report about Diggs that he could be ready for week one. As far as your evaluation of him, what's a realistic timeline for him to be ready?
Try to stay away from timelines and predictions. I know that he's working hard to get back, which is exciting. I think it's, by all accounts, everything is on schedule, and we feel good about where his rehab is and what he's doing. But I think with any injury, I'm never going to put a timeline on it. I don't think it's fair, one, to the player. What one person's MCL injury may be is not the same as another player's injury, that everybody recovers differently. So as long as they're working hard to get back with every injury, that's all we can ask of them. And, you know, I just don't think it's fair to put a timeline on it.
It seems like Stephon Diggs is pretty healthy based off the workout videos he's been posting. Seems like you're pretty healthy now. Here's D'Amico talking about Stephon Diggs not being a Texan no more. Let's check this out.
Working with Stephon.
Hold on, put the volume up.
Working with Stephon, it was a pleasure working with Stephon. is one of the best competitors I've been around. He brings a ton of great energy to practice. He's a worker. He loves to work. Being a veteran guy, he shows up every day playing hard in practice, and he shows up in the game. The guy you can count on, especially in those third down critical moments. The guy you can count on.
Was that tough seeing him down, and how did he attack it after that?
Yeah, for me, it's always tough anytime you see any guys go down. Steph being one of our top players, one of our leaders on the team, seeing him go down non-contact was very difficult to see. But he's been working hard through the offseason process to bring himself back.
Were you guys hoping to bring it back? Or
yeah, for sure. Yeah, you don't want to get rid of good players. So Steph's a good player. It's hard to see him go. Wanted to get him back. It didn't work out there. But wishing him well.
They probably weren't going to pay him the amount of money that he got with the Patriots. That's probably why he left. Man. I doubt the Texans were going to keep Stephon Diggs. Highly doubt that. Man. Next, what I got for y'all. Let me see real quick. Aaron Rodgers, as the days go by, it seemed like he will be a Steeler. You know, he was outside working with DK Metcalf, and possibly his new receiver, him and George Pickens. And, you know, Aaron Rodgers, he can't come into this organization thinking that he's going to run everything. You know, you see the size of this guy, he could definitely knock your ass out, man. So be humble with DK Metcalf. Just because he's a younger player, don't mean that he'll get in your ass too if you don't throw him the ball. You know, on top of that, Mike Tomlin, you know, so don't come on the sideline with your little attitude. Mike Tomlin, he gonna get you right. George Pickens, he gonna get you right. DK, he gonna get you right, man. But hey, this seems obvious at this point in regards to Aaron Rodgers being a Steeler. Ain't no other team that's gonna be interested in Aaron Rodgers. No other team. Everybody already did what they were going to do in the first place. And I don't know how Aaron Rodgers is going to withstand this division right here. You know, with the Ravens, not the Steelers, but Browns, Bengals. Like, I don't know. But this seems like the best option at the current moment. And on top of that, they could draft the quarterback too. They could draft one. There go Aaron, look like he's still in shape. There go DK. They're at UCLA. Pretty interesting. You know, he got tired of Devontae Adams. Let that boy go to the Rams. Now he gonna go do his own thing. Go to his own team. To the Steelers. You know, so low-key, the Steelers could have brought in Devontae Adams and pay him his contract instead of giving DK that contract extension. But it seems like the Steelers said, no, we signing our own guy. We're trading for DK. He seems like a Steeler receiver. He does seem like it. So we're going to see if them boys could definitely work out there, man. And, you know, this is definitely going to make the AFC North tough. Most definitely. Aaron Rodgers, I don't think he had a target like this before. I do not think he had a target like this before, ever. Plus, a target like this might work better for DK, and it might work better for Aaron Rodgers. Might work better for him, but we're going to see. We're going to see. This is him throwing. All right, this confirms where he's signing to. This confirms. I mean, y'all let me know if this is going to be a good fit. Yes, no, maybe so. Y'all let me know in the comments, man. me see here. Next topic. Wanted to talk about Kalen Ballage, former Miami Dolphins running back, having some good playing in the UFL as a running back. Number 4 right here. Watch what he does.
With his call. He called Liv. Oh yeah. The whole D-line. The whole D-line went Liv.
That boy snap. You know, everybody who lead the Dolphins does better. Everybody. See, he had 110 yards, 1 rushing touchdown. But that one play that he made out there, man, that one play that he made up for most of those yards. But that's Kalen Ballage for you. Kalen Ballage, Dolphins. Let me see. Search him up. All right here. You know, Kalen Ballage, he was a big running back. I think we picked him up in the 3rd round. I believe it was the 3rd round. Yeah, 6'1.5", 228 pounds, 32-inch arms, 9-inch hands, average backup, special teamer. We picked him up in round 4. We picked 31. You know, you look at his combine number, you like, man, this guy, he gonna be official. I think one game in college, Kalen Ballage had like 7 touchdowns. 7. So that's pretty impressive. You know, I thought we found the next one with Kalen, but he ain't work out for us, man. Ain't work out. But with these numbers, you would have thought, like, man, Kalen Ballage, he gonna be a starting running back one day. But now he is starting running back for the UFL, not the NFL. Not the NFL. Maybe he makes a comeback. Maybe he shows that he's still capable of being an NFL running back, comes in, you know, earns a backup role with the team. You know, it could be possible. Could be possible. Right here, we have Kalen Ballage career stats. First year in Miami, 12 games played, 36 carries, 191 yards. The year after that, 135. Went to the Jets, only 13. Chargers, 290, his best year. Only played 8 games, got 290. Pittsburgh, 12 carries, 36 yards, 3.0 average. So he's been getting opportunities, but he's not making the most out of them. He's not making the most out of the opportunities. Let's see, college, ASU. I think this was the year that he had like multiple touchdowns. Let me see. Two, 2016, 2000. Yeah, 14. Yeah, this was the game against Texas Tech University. He has 7 touchdowns. 7. This ain't no typo. This ain't no typo, man. This is not a typo. So this is probably what got him drafted so high in the 4th round as a running back. It's probably why. But shout out to him and all his success so far in the UFL. Maybe he makes a comeback to the NFL, possibly. I'm pretty sure he will. I thought he was going to be a rapper or something. He had started rapping. Yeah, he had started rapping for a little bit. You see, like, look, this is one of his rap songs. He's straight. He all right. I'm not gonna lie. He all right. You know, I'll put this on my playlist. This is a good song. You know, some artists, you know, they come into this thing not being talented. You know, he low key a model as well. Low key a model. You know, life is good, man. Life is good for him. You know, too bad he ain't work with the Dolphin. But hey, he making it work in the UFL while being a rapper. You know, model, everything you name it. He is singing now. That boy trying to be Omarion. He trying to be Omarion. Not bad. I mean, y'all let me know about Kalen. I mean, you know, still got all his old pictures on this bit. Still got his Dolphin pictures. He ain't never delete the Dolphin pictures. I like that right there. He respected the journey. I could respect that. Most definitely. See, there go them boys, Walt Aikens. Who I forgot. I forgot this guy's name. He was a tight end, wasn't it? The Gray something, Marquise Gray. I think that was his name, man. There go Kenyon Drake, former running back for us. You know, old school time. Man. This is probably in South Beach. Them was lit. Not focused on football, man, at all. Just the girls on South Beach. I could tell this sidewalk from anywhere, man. I've been here plenty of times, bro. I know what them boys doing. I know what them boys doing. Right. Here we have this is probably the biggest Dolphin quarterback bust of all time, Josh Rosen, throwing a pass to Kalen Balaj. Good catch by Kalen. Good catch by Kalen. They go Kenyon Drake, dapping him up. You know, Kenyon Drake, he had speed. Kenyon Drake, he had speed. Kalen Balaj, he had the size and the speed. So it was a good duo of running backs, but it wasn't a good enough group of running backs to be a successful NFL team. You know, but I like both running backs, man. I liked them. I did. Right here we got video of Kalen Balaj at training camp. Let's check this out. That boy moving, man. 228 moving like that, bro. That's deadly. That's deadly. Yeah, he definitely bit that corner. Most definitely. Here's another play of Kellen Balaj With the Dolphins, this is the running play that really every Miami Dolphin fan would remember. This is the play right here. I thought we found something when he did this. Thought we found something. Outrunning all them boys, man. Easy touchdown. This is pretty much the run that he did at the UFL. This is the run right here. Just amazing speed for a guy his size, man. That was the great attribute about Kalen Ballage. Amazing speed for a guy his size. A guy that big shouldn't be running that fast. And he outrunning DBs and safeties. He outrunning them. That's that breakaway speed that not a lot of running backs have. Kalen Ballage, he had that, but that's not the most important thing to have in your game. It's not. Here we got Brian Flores. The one everybody's still hating on, man. He gonna talk about Kalen Ballage and his run and how he feel about it. Let's check him out real quick. Hold on, my phone blowing up, y'all. All right, and working at the same time. Let's check out what Brian Flores got to say. That was a basic play. Very basic. Oh, this is NFL film. Can't watch this. Right here, we got a clip of Kalen Ballage at ASU, Arizona State University, his former school. Let's check this out. See, at this point, once he go full speed ahead, he gone. He gone. He could outrun anybody out there. Excuse me. Moving. That was a beautiful play. Excuse me. Look what he did with a short pass, man. Almost turned it into a touchdown. Almost. This is a simple short pass. Good juke right there. Yeah, that speed is special, man, with Kalen. That speed is special. Yeah, he gone, but we just talking about him tonight since there's not a lot of news, on the Dolphins. So we're gonna talk about some foreign players. That's it. That's it, Cap. That's it. Yeah, I rock you right. We definitely should have kept him. Definitely should have. Well, hey, we gonna see what happens this offseason. We can get a similar person like him, Mike Tomlin. That will work as well. 8, so he got 1 receiving as well. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. He might. I don't think he the best running back to come out since no before Scatterboo. Scatterboo, I think Scatterboo is the best running back to come out of ASU. I think he the best. But Kalen Balaji, he top 3 for sure out of ASU. Top 3. Okay, Kalen. Shout out to that boy Kalen. Shout out to that boy Kalen. What do I have next for y'all? Let me see. We have this. Another set of news. Miami Dolphins are hosting a draft visit for Rutgers D tackle Kayante Hamilton. We're gonna search him up real quick, see what he's talking about, see if he a good fit. Check him out. Rutgers don't really produce like that. Interesting guy. Very interesting. We're gonna check out his Instagram first. He just attended his pro day. I wonder what the Dolphins like about him to bring him in for a visit. Is he that good? He better be. That's all I'm going to say. Okay, he cuffed up. He just got married. He seemed like a cool guy. He seemed like he was a little leaner. He looked like a DN at a certain point. And he probably gained some weight, turned into a D tackle. So he probably one of those tweener type of defensive linemen. You putting him up, man. Yeah. 27, 28, 29. You gotta get that 30, dog. Ah, that's not bad for a D tackle. That's not bad for a D tackle. I'll take that. I'll take that. You don't got no workout film of him. They were him and his Rutgers teammates at the Shrine Ball. Yeah, that boy definitely got bigger ever since his freshman year, man. It seems like he's really taking in that D tackle role. He really taking it in. I don't know if he'll be a good fit. He'll probably be a later round pick. So is this the guy you want to take a risk with, Chris Greer? Do you really want to take the risk with this guy? We probably got to watch the tape to see how much upside we could get with him. We got to watch the tape. Here's Baldy talking about him. He's a good football analyst, so he'll give you his honest opinion in regards to how you feel about this certain player. Hey, so he got his spotlight at the Shrine Bowl. Definitely got his spotlight. No copyright. Oh, he used to be a wrestler. I like that. You know, wrestlers, they really play with a lot of leverage. You know, I used to wrestle when I was playing football. Definitely helped me out. Most definitely. That was not playing. And he looked like TK a little bit. You see, like he was rocked up in high school. Now he a little bit heavyweight. A little bit of a heavyweight. Him and his pops. You know, it seemed like he was a wrestling finalist. Good flip. Right here, we have him going through some drills. Let's check this out. Man, he's too high up. You running too straight up on this one. Too straight up. Use your whole arm. You know, his arm is still bent trying to hit the bag. Use your whole arm. Bam. Act like the bag is somebody. Act like it's somebody you hate. You know, he still needs a lot of work to be done. Still needs a lot of work. He's not there yet. You know, so I think he probably like a 6th, 7th round pick. You know, he would be worth that pick. Just a person to put in the D-tap room. But hopefully, this is not somebody the Dolphins plan on getting early in the draft. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. You can meet up with anybody. You don't have to be an early round guy to come in. You know, you could bring in guys you plan on to get as UDFAs or first round picks. It don't matter. You could bring in anybody for a visit. You could bring in anybody. And Hamilton, he was one of them. But we're going to see if this is a guy that we do target if he's on the board with one of our picks that is available to get him. We're going to see. Right here, I got a clip of him against Iowa. Let's check this out. He's right here at the A gap. Ooh, good swing. Okay. He is explosive out the ball. Ooh, get out my way. I like his hand usage. And he got the sack on that one. Oh, you got to get that. Definitely know how to use his hands. Wreaking havoc. Okay. I'm liking what I'm seeing, man. You just gonna have to fix the pad level. Fix the pad level. Seems like he comes straight up. Good spin move. Okay, now I see why the Dolphins brought him in for a visit, man. He seems like a very versatile piece that could play the A gap, B gap, C gap. It seems like he has a little issue staying low, but he's still gonna make up for that by using his hands, using his rush moves to his advantage. Even though he's standing straight up, he gonna be like, I trust my technique enough to get past you. I don't have to use my strength. But when you in the NFL and you stand straight up like that, they're gonna find a way to take advantage of that. So he definitely gonna have to work on being the lower man at all times. Once he work on that, bro, he might be a good player. He might be, but I don't see us spending a fifth round pick on him. Probably a 6 or 7. 6 or 7. And on top of that, if you bring in a guy for a top 30 visit, I'm pretty sure he's not going to be a UDFA. He might get close to it, but I'm pretty sure our team will pick him up. All right. Yeah, but y'all let me know about Keontae Hamilton and how y'all feel about him. We did a little bit of research. We could check out his high school page real quick. 6'5", 230, athlete out of Maryland. Was a 3-star recruit. Okay, yeah, so he gained a lot of weight. Now he 300. Now he's 300. Rutgers, Boston College, Wake Forest. That's it. That's it with him. That was it with him, man. Let me see what else I got for y'all. Here we got an AI talking about what you are if you, what you are if you are a Dolphin fan. The AI is gonna mention what you are. But let's check this out. Oh man, this is not AI. I think somebody actually said this, man. Somebody had to say this. Somebody had to say this. Crazy. Nope. Mm. Crazy, man. Crazy but true. Crazy but true. You know, I keep on supporting this team even when they bad. I keep on supporting. Hopefully everything gonna be right. So I'm gonna serve this life sentence until we back on again, man. I'm gonna serve this life sentence until we back on and we win the Super Bowl. I know it's coming, and probably not this year coming up, but a few years later. A few years later. All right. Right here we have Josh Allen Pro Day. Let's check this out. You see, seeing this from Josh Allen, it makes you think that maybe Anthony Richardson could work. Because Anthony Richardson, he was doing stuff like this at his pro day. He was doing the same exact. Mm. Yeah, he went from inaccurate to being a very accurate quarterback. So shout out to that boy Josh Allen, man. Still in our division, still bullying us. And, you know, just wanted to check out this little clip from his pro day back in the day. We got Isaiah Pacheco. He working. Isaiah Pistachio. He like practicing like he about to play receiver for the Chiefs. That's how he practicing. I think Fam forgot he played running back. It's like he's trying to become a better route runner with these workouts. Are you really helping your case in regards to being a running back with these workouts? I don't think so. Maybe you are, but he running them routes nice, man. For a running back, you're a pretty good route runner. Give me that. Right here, we have Jackson Dart throwing at his pro day. Let's check this out. A noodle arm. Okay, better throw. Okay. All right, Jackson Dart. You know, it seems like he has a soft arm, a weak arm. I don't know if you want to include that in our quarterback room again. But I think he will be a good fit for like the Steelers, you know, the Rams as a good backup quarterback for whoever's in that room. You know, Jackson Dart would definitely be a good fit, but I don't think he'll become a Dolphin. I don't think so. Money. Shout out to Jackson Dart. All right, here we have Mike Tomlin's son. Mike Tomlin's son. Let's check him out. He been watching too much AB. Too much AB. Mike Tomlin happy. He's like, yes, the Steelers. We got another receiver that we can get. We got another one. I don't know if he's okay. He's draft eligible, but I don't know if he entered the draft. He probably gonna come out next year. Probably gonna come out next year. Hold on. Let's check out Mike Tomlin's son, bro. He looked just like his daddy, bro. He looked just like his daddy. Yeah, he looked just like his daddy. It's scary. His daddy with wicks. Oh, he's at Maryland before. There goes him and his dad. Yeah, he seems like he a baller, but he's a little bit on the shorter side. Oh, he's 6 foot 188. He seemed like 5'10". That's what it seemed like. He was a 0-star, 3-star. Let me see him as a prospect. Albany, Army, Brown, Columbia. So he has some good grades. Good grades. You know, Mike Tomlin don't play. So his kid's going to be a reflection of what he tolerates, man. So good job by him and staying in school again, them good grades, man. Mike Tomlin, he did his thing with this one. Definitely did his thing. Let me see. Check out his highlights real quick. See what that boy got going on. Ooh, okay. That boy moving. That pull away speed, dangerous. Yeah, that boy taking off. I ain't never seen Mike Tomlin play football before, so I can't say like father like son. You know, his son definitely like to celebrate, doing the shit that I don't think his dad would tolerate. Oh, you play DB too? Okay. Ooh, another pick. Good vision, good eyes. Field goal block. Okay. Oh, going deep on this one. Ooh, still caught that big touchdown. Mike Tomlin got a bad man. Mike Tomlinson straight. He a good player, actually. He does have NFL potential. Does have NFL potential. Yeah, definitely uses speed on that one. Most definitely. All right. Let me see. I think I got two more stuff for y'all, and then that should be it for today, man. Two more stuff. Let me see. Here, I wanted to show y'all the location as to where all the NFL head coaches met up for the meeting, the annual meeting. Let's check this out. The Breakers. This is right around the corner from me. Right around the corner. Palm Beach, a beautiful place, man. I love Palm Beach. The Breakers. This is a top tier spot right here. Top tier. So I know the head coach is living good over here, man. Enjoying the scenery. I think they had the whole thing reserved to them, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not too sure. I doubt it. Yeah, it looks great over here, man. Palm Beach, I feel like Palm Beach is the best county. You know, it's not too much of Miami, but it still has that modern feel. You know, so hopefully all the head coaches enjoy their time in the sun. You know, enjoying the weather, the flowers. Because when you go back up north, you're not gonna see nothing like this. Nothing as beautiful as this. Nothing. Right. Next topic, shout out to Anthony Richardson. Pulled up to the Florida Gators, see what they got going on. You know, dapping up coach. Pretty cool right there that he came out to practice and check the Gators out. You know, while he trying to win his starting role still. Hopefully. Hopefully he does end up being the starter for the Colts. You know, he a Gator boy, so I really want to see that boy win, man. Really want to see that boy win. But it's a good sign when your alma mater comes by, checks out the new players, see how they're doing. You know, always good for that to happen. Always good. That's an A1 hotel. Those coaches are living good. Yeah, I know. I know. When I heard they were at the Breakers in West Palm, I'm like, yeah, them boys, they straight. They straight. They right next to where Trump live as well. His house in Palm Beach, they right there. Right there. Check on the status of Anthony Richardson. You know, he hasn't posted nothing yet, man. He's just working right now. Definitely just working. And shout out to ATR. Definitely love that boy. Hey, Colts, I dare y'all to let him go. Dare y'all. I dare y'all, man. Miami Dolphins, you gotta take a shot. You gotta take a shot, man. Gotta take a shot. Hopefully we could fix him, though. Hopefully we could fix him. Last video I will be doing is reacting to a mock draft, a 7-round mock draft from CBS. We gonna see how good it is. And y'all let me know how y'all feel about it, man. Let me know. I'm about to play it right now. I don't mind Starks, but we would have to trade back if we get Starks. I want to get some more assets before we invest in Starks with our 13th overall pick. You know, I think Starks, he could fall in this draft, so I don't want to pick him too early. Don't. Will Johnson, we know he's not falling to the second round. We know that for a fact. So I wouldn't mind Will Johnson. You know, with Malachi Starks, I would trade down, then pick him up. But Will Johnson, if he's there at 13, I'll just take him. Well, you gotta get Siobhan Ravel. Gotta get him, man. Gotta get him. I know he tore his ACL, didn't really play too much last year, but he got first round pick upside. You know, with this second round pick, you gotta make sure you get a guy that you know will be a starter. Yeah, I don't know about that pick either. Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna be doing that. I like the first pick, but the second pick, I didn't really like it. You know, with Omar from Tennessee, I feel like he's gonna be a fourth round pick. You know, I think we got him too early in the second round. They got him too early. I'll never pick him in the second round. Never. We definitely could have did better with our second round pick. Most definitely could have did better. Makuba, he went right before us. Right before us, man. I really want this guy. That's it. You really want him. Wow. For real? Hey, we gonna look that boy up, man. We gonna look that boy up. Okay. I don't even see where he at. I think he's the left tackle right here. This is him. Okay. Definitely got quick feet. This is him right here. Okay, good pancake, but you're not doing it against competition. You're not doing it against competition. He's right here. Okay, good job holding up on that one. A little bit on the leaner side. It looked like he got to gain some weight, man. Got to gain some weight, but he has long arms for a tackle. Very long arms, 35-inch arms. That's not bad, man. We can work with that. And y'all heard him. They said Teron Armstead special. That's high praise right there. High praise. Right here, number 60. Let's check him out. Oh, good job sealing that edge, man. Good job. Good job climbing up to that linebacker. Linebacker couldn't do nothing. Yeah, he kind of held on too long with this block. And look, they got a flag for this. Holding. Ref definitely seen that. Most definitely. Right here, Charles Grant at left tackle. Let's check him out. Okay. And y'all got to remember, he started playing football his senior year of high school. Senior year. Senior year of high school, man. Teams are about to draft him based off his traits alone. He barely got experience like that. But the fact that he's able to hold up and the film look the way that it does, that's impressive, man. You know, he played like he been playing for a decent minute, but only his senior year, he got a lot more to learn. A lot more to learn. So if you want to develop a piece, this would be a good guy to develop for your whole lot, most definitely. Trying to find more clips. Oh, some Charles Grant has set a visit with the Bengals. Okay, so he set up a visit with the Bengals already. So that boy, he traveling. He traveling. He met up with the Eagles too. 30 visits, Titans, Ravens, Texans, Radars, Eagles, Falcons, Bengals, all on his radar. All on his radar, man. Yeah. Y'all let me know about Charles Grant, how y'all feel about him. You think he'll be a good fit with the Dolphins? Yes, no, maybe. Let me know in the comments, man. Let's get back to the video. Wow. We're gonna check out a Jalen Lane. We're gonna see what he's talking about. Okay. 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 I'm about to say if he stayed up on that one, I was about to say. Yeah, but good job. And he got that extra yardage, man. Y'all boys too soft, too weak. Good run by him on that one. Very good run. Let me see. Jalen Lane, 1.94. Height, 5'9". Weight, 191. Vertical, 40. 11-inch broad jump, 4.34 40-yard dash. So his measurables definitely add up to what we would want on our offense. Definitely. But we already have too much players of this stature around the same height, around the same weight. You know, vertical, broad jump. I can't pinpoint in regards to that, but it just seems like everything else he fits what a Miami Dolphin should be. He fits it. Jalen Lane. I wouldn't have chosen him. There's probably a better receiver out there other than him, but hey, everybody entitled to their own opinion. Everybody entitled. Yeah, I don't want Quinn Ewers on the Dolphins. I don't want that. I don't want that, man. I do not want that. I'd rather have Zach Wilson and two at the current moment than doing that. Again, Quinn Ewers. He might come into the NFL and snap, but I don't think he's gonna do that. I don't think so. I don't know about this one. Rondé Gatson still there? Man, he gotta get picked up, man. Gotta get picked up, man. Ain't no way. Ain't no way. Ty, I would take Ty Robinson. Most definitely Ty Robinson. These the guys who picked Malachi Starks first, and now they doubling down with safety again. You know, it could happen, but it don't. I don't think that's gonna happen. I don't think so. Gatson. And he worked out. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not feeling this draft right here. I'm not feeling it. Just not feeling it, bro. But hey, maybe I could be wrong, man. Maybe this draft class is good. Just maybe. But hey, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. If you're new to your channel, please like, comment, subscribe. Excuse me. Like, comment, subscribe for more content. Check my bio down below for all my inquiries if you want to talk business. And on top of that, y'all go get
Welcome
that
to
merch.
DGE Merchandise, your one-stop shop for everything you need. Whether you're shopping for yourself or looking for the perfect gift, we've got you covered. Check out DGE Merchandise website for all your latest gear for the National Football League and more. Every sale helps the channel grow to bigger and better things, and we wouldn't be here without your support. Shop with confidence, knowing that we offer top-quality products at unbeatable prices. Ready to find your next favorite product? Visit dgmerchandise.com today and start shopping. We're always here to make your shopping experience easy, fast, and fun.
Y'all go do that for your boy. You already know what it is, but hey, appreciate y'all. Love y'all.